Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm here again for the plant deck profile, updating for the new ban list. Still thoughts on that. A lot of people like it. I'm gonna say about 40% of people like the ban list, but this is my plant update for the next ban list. And of course this is my first build, so it's still in the construction, whatever. But let you guys think what you think about the deck. Alright, we're going right into it. Of course, the plant engine, and surprised as you guys see the titanium back. I'll explain the reasons for that in a second, reason why she's back, but I feel like I can run her in this deck just because of ways I can bring her out now. Only still, again, bad in the hand. That's the only place I want to see her, but, still the basic plant engine. That's what's all love. Oh, yeah, by the way, thanks Konami for bringing this up to 3, because now plants are raping next format. Thanks Konami. Supporters to the plants, basically the 2 debris dragons, 2 tangoos for extension of the plants with the dandelions and the the glow up both the synchron. And we're gonna get into the milling engine. So I decided to put in a milling engine into the deck, which is the double Rykos and the double card troopers. Basically, put your plants and other setups in the graveyard and go off from there. And it's basically, I guess it's basically like a chaos plant deck. So I'm gonna guess call it chaos plants. So Rykos in the dark and the lights. He counts as a light himself, and he can mill cards and stuff in the graveyard. So is card troopers. This is what I think of the next tour guide engine will look like. Reason being, Sangan, of course, got hit on the ban list, so everybody's really upset about that. And they were like, "Oh, what are we gonna do for tour guide? Well, maybe we could just run tour guide." And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's cool and everything, but what if it gets Veilered, and then now your next tour guide is like basically dead if you top deck into it, and you're gonna be really upset." So what I decided to do was, I guess I can explain it. So if I open up with just one tour guide, I can play tour guide and search out tour bus. I guess this is what the card was made for in the first place, before the Sangan and all this other stuff. But you search out for the tour bus, decide to make first turn Zen mains, whatever. When Zen mains gets destroyed completely, first you have to detach this first, and then use this to target the other tour guide, send it back to your deck, and then now you got, you draw into another tour guide, now you have another tour guide to play. Basically, is what it's used for, but still problems with Maxi and Veiler. Like you have to go into XYZ, so your opponent gets a +1 off of Maxi with that. So other mission alias monsters in the deck, it just kind of helps out the synergy of the deck since they're dark and light. 1 Thunder King, 1 Zephyr's the elite, and just 1 Spear Reaper. Zephyr elite just adds on to a lot of rank 4 plays and power push plays and other stuff like that. And plus you can mill it, so that's why it's so good. Hand traps, double Veiler, double Maxi, basic standard plants to me. I feel like you have to run both. And other bossy hand traps, 2 Gores and the Tragodia, because they really need it, because all the monsters in the deck are like mad small. And you keep nice hand advantage, so track is always viable. And the kind of like the chaosy boss monsters of the deck, just because again the deck is really small, so they kind of need these kind of guys to push in. Chaos Sorcerer, Dark Arm, and BLS. And I think that should bring the monster count up to 28. Okay, and the deck is 40, guys. Just guys want to let you know. The Trinity spells, of course, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Moxie Warren. They hit by balance, so why not run it? Double MST. By the average, plant stuff, we know. Foolish Burial. Again, more plant setup stuff. 1 for 1, great Tengu, Spores, other plant stuff, Dandelion. Mind Control, since the deck is super you know, it can basically utilize any two monsters on the field. So as far as XYZs or synchron cards busted. And for traps, triple Call It Haunted. And this is the reason why I keep the Titanium, just because for two factors. If I, summon Lone Fire, I can go into it like that, stuff like that. Or if I build it with a Card Trooper or Raikou, I could Call It Haunted back. Same thing with the Thunder King, with duality plays. And, Call It Haunted is just really good in the deck, and it's just so great with the building engine. Okay. I'm gonna get into extra deck. Really standard. So we got the Form of Synchron. Oops. Catastor. Got the TG Hyper Librarian. The Orange Dragon. Ancient Fairy. You guys can see that. The Black Rose. The Scrap Dragon. The Stardust. And the Shooting Star, which is super easy to make in this deck. For the XYZs, we got the number 17 Leviathan Dragon for the rank 3, Leviair for the rank 3, and Zenmaines for the rank 3. For rank 4, which you make less of, but the options always out. I used to make a rank 4 at least almost once per duel, but not not needed, but you can. Goggle Cowboy, just because you can make rank 4s, is so good for pushing clutch games. Black Shippercorn, this is probably the card I summon the most. And My Stroke, just for the generic, mind control plays. Okay, and we're going to the side deck. And of course, this deck is still in training. I never really tested it really, but we got the two breakers because now every deck is starting to play D-Fissure, Stars, Fire Fist. I guess if windups are still existing, I don't know what they're doing. Any deck that can side deck in the Macross Cosmos, or this pops back row and others, great stuff. Maybe face up fill spells or whatever, just breaker. Double DD Crow for just the Dark Worlds or any deck that utilize graveyard. The second Thunder King, since Thunder King is at 2, Close Forest. Crazy random tech. I decided to put this in here just because Ancient Fairy searches out the field spell. So I could maybe go into Foolish, Dating Lion, into Ancient Fairy, pop the field spell books, or maybe Dark Worlds, and then search this out and then play it, and they have a hard time playing field spells again since some of the decks kind of utilize around it. The third MST for the traps. Double debunk, just because of Prophecy. Some cards they may pop off in the graveyard, maybe just like Fire Kings. It stops the Megalo, stops the High Priestess, stops just a lot of cards in the hand traps. Everybody know what debunk does. 2 Royal Decrees for the Dino Rabbit, matchup, or some kind of like TG Stun, or just heavy back row decks, heroes. Simplify the back row for me. Tarentulas for decks that like to push off, maybe like Mermills, or some decks that like to swarm. And Double Shot Pyramid, just for the pesty Dark Worlds and Injectors. Okay, well that's the whole deck list, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know everybody's thinking, well, why is he still making plants? Plants are not good. I do have other decks. I'm still making Infernities. I'm waiting for the Larviton to come out for that. And I do make Mermills now, and I made them better. So maybe, I guess, the next deck profile will be Mermills. I have Evos and some other, other random decks. And on the path of making Fire Fist, because I feel like when they get new support, they get Wolf, and with Wolf, the deck will be just amazingly good. So, hope you guys enjoyed the deck profiles, and thank you. Peace.